Coming up in this week's show, Paul and I talk to Kevin and Carl to learn a little bit more about Brown and Holmes, their products, solutions and their services. Now, Geo is going to interview Carl about the complete bespoke solutions they provide, plus we investigate their exceptional design and manufacturing capabilities. We find out how Brown and Holmes have evolved over the years, and Geo catches up with Steve Smith to discuss the future of Brown and Holmes, which includes their new robotic solutions. I ask Kevin and Carl about their apprentice school that they've set up, and last but by no means least, we go back in time and look at some of their incriminating photos that you have got to see.
Thanks.
So welcome to the set, gents.
Oh my God, look at that.
Yeah. Bring back a few memories, gents.
Yeah. Dark hair, or I just about remember it, yeah.
What years were these?
Dark hair.
What were the years?
Oh, that would have been
Guess the year.
1984, 5.
Yeah. Right or wrong, Carl?
Yeah, there or thereabouts.
The gents didn't actually know that we were showcasing these, so we've taken...
Thank you very much for that.
It's a pleasure.
Oh, yeah.
So, Brown and Holmes, there's some memories.
Yeah.
Brown and Holmes is a company. Just briefly give us an overview. What is it that you do?
Right, so Brown and Holmes is a company formed in 1939, still going strong obviously now today, and our core business is design and manufacture of work holding fixtures for use in every industry you can possibly think of in the UK.
That's very evident by looking at your website. In fact, your case studies, some of the projects that you've undertaken are pretty phenomenal, aren't they? What would be kind of a landmark for you, or one of your best projects that you've undertaken?
I think one of our best projects was one which was born in the UK with Delcam at the time, which was proven out by Delcam on our fixtures, and that whole project then went out to Singapore, where we've done numerous repeats of those fixtures, backed up by service and support by ourselves out in Singapore. Probably our first big step overseas, and it turned to be very successful.
I mean, that's fascinating as well. I mean, if you to look at Brown and Holmes' website, you'll see that you do actually supply standard product as well, but the split is kind of 10% standard product and 90% bespoke fixturing. Interestingly, the market consumption is completely the reverse, isn't it? You know, 90% of the market buys standard product, yet you've chosen to go into and expand more the more niche area.
Is that because it's so saturated?
I think there's a lot of people selling standard product, and for us it's a nice bottom line, it's a nice, should we call it a leveller from the peaks and troughs of the design and manufacturing of work holding. But I think perhaps there's less people in the UK doing what we do, so perhaps there's a few less competitors, and the market's quite big for us.
Tell us about your setup then, your staff, how many people are there, what's happening within your workshop?
The staff, we've grown our staff quite considerably over the last 12 months. I think we've seen approximately 12, maybe 13 people join the business in the last 9 months, which goes hand in hand with the expansion that we've invested in, not only in machinery but floor space to actually put those machines into. We've started a more formal apprenticeship school where we've increased the intake substantially.
I think that machine shop is incredible. Having visited and seeing, I mean, I think you were just having a new Mazak machine installed when we visited a week or so ago. And interestingly as well, it does say on your website that you do get involved in a little bit of subcontract work as well, which kind of made me think, well, is that to complement the fixturing that you're doing and the designing that you're doing to help your customers that you're designing product for as well, on them, you know, helping them with their machining as well?
I think the bottom line is we cut metal, and that's what our machines do, and that's what our skilled guys do. Whether it be fixture work, or whether it be manufactured to customers' drawings, we do that, or whether it be the subcontract work, which we're just starting to get into. The common denominator is we put swarf on the floor, or we cut metal, and skills are important for that.
And I know we've got lots coming up in this show.
Have.
You've got to stay tuned. But the business, how much has it grown since, let's say, since 2010 to where you are now today?
Oh, the growth is probably the size of the company itself is probably 50% larger than it was back then.
Wow.
And I would suggest the turnover has perhaps doubled in that time.
Yes, without doubt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are impressive numbers. Now, you're talking about all of your bespoke solutions. So who have you got to back that up? What's so unique about Brown and Holmes?
Our uniqueness is in the fact that our customer can come to us with, I wouldn't call it a problem, let's call it a challenge. They have a component they want to hold, they want to manufacture, they want to cut in the most efficient, quickest, cost-effective way. And we come along and complement the machine tool they're going to be putting on by putting some high-quality, robust solution in there, which allows the machine tool to perform at its best rates, best feeds, best speeds, everything right to get the most cost-effective solution out for the customer.
I think there's been certainly in recent years, there's been another challenge for our customers. A lot of the materials have changed and become more difficult to actually machine, and the actual form of some of the components that they're making has presented another challenge to our customers, which we like to think we're meeting head on.
Just after my apprenticeship, the company used to build all their fixturing in-house. They used to have their own design engineers. They used to do everything in-house. But as companies have kind of contracted in modern times, they've looked for those skills outside, which is, probably one of the reasons behind your growth as well.
Without doubt, yeah. So that decision process within a lot of our customers has helped the development of our business, the diversification we've taken over the last few years as regards taking it from initial design concept through manufacture all the way through to installations, and then later in the life of the fixture to support and maintenance services as well. And that's wherever it may be in the world at this moment in time.
Yeah.
So some interesting interviews coming up. What's happening next?
So don't forget, we are going to be discussing the new robotic solutions that Brown and Holmes are taking on board, and I'm particularly excited about hearing about their apprenticeship school. So let's go and see Geo and Carl in situ in Tamworth.
Lindsay, I'm here at Brown and Holmes today in Tamworth. Now, we're fully aware that Brown and Holmes offer standard work holding solutions, but they also, and are very proud of, their bespoke complete solutions. Now, I want to discuss this with Carl in a little bit more detail. How imperative is your design team? How many people are working in your design department?
We have 9 people in the design department, and really after they come in maybe in the first place for a little bit of discussion. We might bounce a few ideas off each other of, should we do it this way, shall we do it that way, and to get the best solution. Then if they accept the quotation from ourselves and we get the order, that's when they really step in to start. They take the concept which has come from perhaps myself, and then with that concept they make it into a proper design, which will start with a solution as a model, which can then be shown to the customer as the first, let's call it the first approval gate. The customer may have some modifications or some comments on that. That's then taken back on board. The model would be modified. And once we've got through that gate, we then go into production drawings where really a set of 2D prints are made for our shop floor to manufacture from, and that's where the manufacturing process begins.
And that's what was going to be my next question really, Carl. Now, you're not only just designing the solution, you're actually manufacturing the solution as well.
Yes, we have about 35 guys on our shop floor, all skilled, all able to take a 2D drawing and manufacture. Some machines, and the majority of the machines now are obviously CNC, but we still use a few older-fashioned but highly accurate manually operated machines. And our div leagues, for instance, of which we have 4, are critical for fixture bodies, shall we say, of which all the fixture equipment is fitted to and made to.
Now, a lot of the special solutions and fixtures that you manufacture, to a certain degree, a lot of them are one-offs, never been made before at all. So a lot of this design is theoretical and based on a theoretical concept. Now, once you've designed, manufactured the component, if it gets to the customer and they incur problems, it's not working as it should, what happens then?
We support, obviously. We support the once the parts are made, they obviously go into our assembly shop, which you'll see later, and the fixture is assembled and it's tested. It's critical for us that we have a part to put on it, so we can check that it sits right, it's clamped right, it's repeatable, and we run a series of tests, whether it be a manual fixture or a hydraulic fixture or a vacuum fixture, whatever. That gives us a level of confidence then that it's going to work, and we bring the customer in for acceptance tests on site, so they're happy as well. But in the instance where we do have a problem on site at the customers, we respond and we get out there and investigate and put it right.
Carl, thank you very much for your time.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Lindsay, it's back to the studio.
Really interesting. Thank you, Carl. Now, I've been onto your website, we both have, and we've been looking at your case studies, and there's one about pushing liners into a V8 engine. Is this right? What is it, what you do here?
Yes, this was something for a very large power generation engine. And it's not work holding fixture, it's more of an assembly device. But the basic rules are the same. You've still got to position and hold the component. And in this case, instead of cutting and removing metal, we're actually pushing some liners under hydraulic pressure into a known position to a known pressure to make sure it's locked off, and all the feedback from that pressure all goes into the system to do it. Very nice job.
I mean, there was others as well. And I encourage you to go on to Brown and Holmes' website to look at some of these case studies. There was also the one that the fixturing for the Cosworth project, 59 fixtures in total.
Fantastic project, yes. One of the very few projects when we were invited in by Cosworth right at the start. The factory wasn't even built, it was just a brownfield site. We started looking at the various components. It was blocks and heads, ladder frames, sumps, that sort of components, all hydraulic fixtures, all fed from a big fast EMS, and it was a good 2-year project, but yes, it was very, very interesting and good to see the complete facility grow with our fixtures in it at the end.
I've seen it actually. We did do some video there on behalf of Matsura, because it's a Matsura fast EMS.
That's right.
The whole shooting match, isn't it? And then your design engineers, you mentioned it, Carl, but 9 of them, and plus 4 different cam systems.
Yeah, it's important that we've got a variation of cam systems, because different customers want you to draw in different cam systems. I think the most popular one is probably Siemens NX, which we use for Rolls-Royce and for Siemens. But we have Inventor, we have Solid Edge, we have SolidWorks, and different customers want different outputs, and we haven't got them all by no means, but it just gives us more flexibility to keep more people happy at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear, because you've got a really good staff retention rate. You guys were apprentices as well, so you know you've gone through that journey. So what is it that you're doing that gives you that such a good staff retention?
Well, I like to think it's the interesting work, the diversification of the product that we make. Not very rarely do our guys build or manufacture parts that they will then repeat the next day. Every job, new, working on the same principles. But yeah, it's interesting and it's varied, and hopefully that stimulates the guys and keeps them coming back through the door every morning. It's us
travelling around everywhere, different companies every day, different.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. I
mean,
boredom is a bit of a killer, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just diversity is spice of life. And,
definitely. So I'm going to find, well, I want to know more about the future of Brown and Holmes. So Geo is going to interview Steve Smith.
And I've got to go now, haven't I?
He's going to come back after.
I'm here with Steve Smith from Brown and Holmes. Now, you've been at Brown and Holmes for 22 years. You're an apprentice yourself. How important are apprentices to Brown and Holmes?
Well, they're very important to us. We obviously suffer the same skill shortages that everybody else in the industry does. Kevin and Carl were apprentices themselves, and the company's got a long-standing history with apprentices. So we've created an apprentice school within the company.
I mean, I've been fortunate enough to take me round, and you've certainly got no skills shortage here. And is this due to the way you train your apprentices?
Yeah, we tend to try and keep the training in-house. and because we can train the people the way that we want them, and it works that way.
And do you train them on the, I see with the apprentice school, you start them off on the manual machines. How important is this?
It gives them a good basis of machining techniques, and obviously that follows on when they go onto the CNC machines and so on and so forth.
Steve, so what does the future hold for Brown and Holmes?
Well, we've obviously got the robots in the background that you can see that are being integrated with the pneumatic and hydraulic fixturing that we already supply. And tied in with the automation and control, we can supply complete turnkey solutions now.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Steve.
You're welcome. Thanks very much.
Back to the studio.
Welcome to the set, Geo.
Cheers, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Welcome, guys, and thank you for having me at the facility last week. I want to talk about the robots in a little bit more detail now, starting with the Techman robot with the built-in vision. Now, what is the unique selling points of having a built-in vision system? We hear about vision robots, but what's the difference with this particular product?
I think the main difference is the fact that it's fairly unique in the fact that it offers a built-in camera, as you've just specified there. The ease of programming is a major advantage. Even the likes of us could program, and after 5 minutes tuition, Carl, I think, it was up and running. So yeah, there is the ease of that, and basically the various interaction with the robot, the various different ways of programming that type of robot is absolutely so customer friendly.
So it's simplifying the programming of the robot.
Incredibly simplifying.
And you've also brought the other robot, the Nachi robots. Now, what are the differences between the two? Is it payload?
It is predominantly, and basically the fact that it's a more longer sustained type of recognised robot system, if you like. But yeah, the two complement each other and fit in nicely to the level of business that we aim Brown and Holmes into, basically.
And in introducing robotics and automation into your already extensive product range, what does this do now ultimately for Brown and Holmes?
I think it's been a natural progression for the business, and I think demand from customers has required that we do it. I think we see ourselves as a UK leader of supplying the full solution to customers, and if a customer's got a part that needs machining, they generally need to load it safely as well, and that follows through for assembly, inspection, and we can provide the equipment all under one roof, or two roofs as it is these days, to take away hopefully all our customers' problems.
Yeah, I think it complements your range fantastically, especially when you're already supplying bespoke fixtures, pneumatic or hydraulic. It just goes hand in hand.
I want to know about the apprenticeships at apprentice school. I mean, we are literally going through Brown and Holmes quite quickly, so we always say to everyone, get in touch with yourselves anyway. But this is another area which is highly regarded for you guys as well, isn't it? It's close to your hearts because you were apprentices yourselves.
Very much so, yes. We were straight out of school into Brown and Holmes, both of us, so many years ago, many years ago. But yeah, it's integral to the business. I mean, we're fairly unique, perhaps a little niche as a business of what we provide, and certainly in our area of the world, Tamworth, there is not a wealth of the level of talent we require. So it's basically a case of growing your own. And we've always run apprentices. I think 30% of our workforce are Brown and Holmes apprentice trained. Wow. And certainly a lot of our administration and management team are Brown and Holmes trained. But yeah, looking for the future, the way the business is expanding and what we're looking to do as a strategic vision for the business, then yeah, we need skills. We need talented young people to join the business who can follow through, and we can also continue offering a career path in our business for some of our current employees.
Indeed, it's really important.
Oh, I think it's absolutely essential, and I think that you guys actually know how important it is because you've actually been there and done it. You know, you mentioned in the interview the Dev League machine that you're still using.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
can you tell us the importance? I mean, that you can't design. You've got such a big design department. You can't design anything surely unless you can manufacture it and make it.
I think you need a mix of people. You need a mix of people who know how to cut metal, who know how to set a job up on 3 seats and 2 edge locators and an end stop. Basic principles which you learn on some of the manual machines, and then you can carry that through into design, into quotations, into solution providing. But it all starts right as a kid, right as an apprentice, and bringing it on from there. Yeah.
We've got loads of questions.
Yeah,
So what does the future hold for Brown and Holmes?
What does the future hold?
It's exciting.
Yeah, we like to think it's quite exciting. I think the world's opening up for Brown and Holmes. We're seeing a massive increase in the level of exports of our equipment. We are developing partnerships with various companies in different areas of the world to take our products outside the UK, and that seems quite successful. But yeah, continued diversification. We're proud to be members of the MTC, which keeps us really at the forefront of technological advancements, and we want to follow that and keep up with the pace, basically.
I mean, sorry, Lindsay, from my perspective, I mean, from me coming to visit you, I was unaware of everything you did, and what I can see, you're manufacturing and offering solutions that effectively you're taking on projects that other people can't. You're looking for the hard stuff, not the easy stuff, and I think that in regards to skill levels within the UK, you certainly haven't got a shortage. So, you know, through these apprentice schools and what you're doing, you certainly do something right.
Yeah, I think our country is well known for its innovative skill sets, and we like to think that we sit in there. A lot of our customers do, and we think that's where Brown and Holmes' expertise is, and don't try to be something that we're not.
Yeah.
So continue, try to be even better at what we are.
Right, no pressure. Have you got any more questions?
No, thank you very much.
No pressure. But just for the last, say, 20 seconds, sell to myself, sell to everybody who's watching Brown and Holmes.
We think we are the UK leading bespoke solution provider for the manufacturers of the world, ranging from design solution through to manufacture of fixturing and any other product that is required to support a production process. And we back that up with the service and support wherever it is in the world.
Right, wonderful.
Good answer.
Yeah, good answer.
Good answer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for joining us on the show.
Thanks
It's
for having
over
us,
now, so you can relax and
Get that wine open.
Yeah, I was going to say, get that wine open. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
And
Cheers.
thank you for watching. Now, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to watch any previous episodes, click on the link here on Geo's face. And as we always say, keep those spindles turning.